Royal Caribbean and Celebrity are gearing up for June sailings in the Caribbean, but Carnival says they're keeping their ships in the U.S. Those stories and a whole lot more next on the Cruise News Week in Review. Welcome back, cruisers. I'm Mark, and you're watching the Cruise News Week in Review, the show where we catch you up on the happenings in the cruise world each and every week. If you're new here or just haven't hit that red subscribe button yet, please consider doing that and go ahead and hit that thumbs up while you're down there. The big news last week was Royal Caribbean International's announcement of Royal Caribbean and Celebrity ships sailing this June out of Nassau and St. Martin, and they didn't stop there. RCL announced this week that the Vision of the Seas will be sailing 7-night itineraries from Bermuda from June through August, and the Jewel of the Seas will start a new 7-night program in July, sailing out of Cyprus. Royal Caribbean International President and CEO Michael Bailey said, "I'm delighted to announce our safe and gradual return to Europe. We know how eager our guests are to enjoy a getaway this summer, and these sailings, which include a mix of fantastic destinations and must-visit islands, makes for the perfect getaway." Guests on the Jewel will have an opportunity to visit Limassol, Rhodes, Mykonos, and Santorini. Bookings on the Jewel open on April 7th, and for those who are wondering where and when the Celebrity Apex would finally make her debut, wonder no more. Apex will be sailing out of Greece beginning on June 19th, sailing week-long cruises from Athens. Not only will guests be among the first to experience this amazing new ship, but they'll also get to visit Cyprus, along with Haifa and Jerusalem in Israel. Celebrity Apex captain Dimitrios Kefetsis was asked about the announcement and said, "It is such an honor for me to captain the newest ship in the Celebrity fleet. I've been anxiously awaiting the day when I can welcome our first guests on board this magnificent vessel, and it will be a very proud moment for me to do this in my homeland." Norwegian Cruise Line has quickly moved to free up a total of 5 ships for potential redeployment. All global sailings for Norwegian were previously canceled through June, but now NCL has extended those dates into October for the Encore, Jewel, Joy, and Gem, and all the way into November for the Norwegian Jade. The move makes those 5 ships immediately available for new itineraries, and industry sources expect an announcement soon. Possible locations for new cruises could include the Caribbean, Bermuda, the UK, and the Mediterranean. And while Royal Caribbean Group is aggressively working toward getting their ships sailing in North America and abroad, and NCL seems poised to do the same, Carnival President Christine Duffy said that they have no plans to move their ships from the U.S. home ports.
"I have always said Carnival is America's cruise line. We sail from 14 U.S. home ports. 50% of our itineraries are less than 7-day sailings, and a significant number of our guests drive to their Carnival cruise vacation. As you know, we also sail more families and children than any other cruise line. And so far, vaccines have not been approved for anyone under the age of 16. If it's safe to fly on an airplane, stay in a hotel or resort, or visit an amusement park, it should be safe to cruise on a ship with all of the additional health and safety protocols that we have in place."
Duffy also noted that Carnival has not made a decision on June sailings yet, but they have pushed back the final payment deadline for those sailings until April 30th. That's interesting. I'm booked at the beginning of July, and my final payment is due next week. Maybe, and I hope this is the case, Carnival knows something we don't. But what about the CDC's framework for conditional sailing order that was put in place at the end of October last year? Man, was I excited about that 4-phased plan back then. The CDC gave all of us cruise lovers an early Christmas present yesterday when they lifted the no-sail order. And tonight, the CLIA ban on sailing from the U.S. ends, and the cruise industry gets the green light to sail. Kind of. But now, here we are nearly 5 months later, and we are still in phase 1 with no more information than we had at the end of 2020. But so much has changed, and pressure has been mounting for the CDC to drop the order. Royal Caribbean's Richard Fain recently spoke out calling the order unworkable. President and CEO of CLIA, Kelly Craighead, said, "Over the past 8 months, a highly controlled resumption of cruising has continued in Europe, Asia, and the South Pacific, with nearly 400,000 passengers sailing to date in more than 10 major cruise markets. These voyages were successfully completed with industry-leading protocols that have effectively mitigated the spread of COVID-19. Additional sailings are planned in the Mediterranean and Caribbean later this spring and summer. CLIA called on the CDC to allow for the planning of a phased resumption of cruising from U.S. ports by the beginning of July. I mean, why not, right? Vaccines are being administered at a fast pace here in the U.S., and President Biden even expects to make all American adults eligible by May 1st. So why not? Because Rochelle Walensky and the CDC said so. That's why. Now, I believe that the CDC is totally off track here, and I talked about it here. And my buddy Tony over at Lolita Loca has an interesting theory on the whole situation too. So I put a link to both of those videos down in the description for you to check out later. But what do you think about all of this? I love reading and responding to your comments, and I think that the CDC's negative attitude towards cruising stems back to the issues on the Diamond Princess way back at the start of the pandemic. You know, when we didn't know anything about the virus or how to deal with it. And this week, HBO announced the debut of its new documentary, The Last Cruise. The film is a first-person account of the outbreak on board the Diamond Princess. 3 American couples and several crew members are featured telling their stories in The Last Cruise. I've added a link to the trailer down below, and the full documentary will be available on HBO Max on March 30th. Yesterday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis met with government officials and cruise executives for a roundtable discussion at Port Canaveral. All of the major cruise lines were represented, and now DeSantis and Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody are discussing potential legal options in regard to getting cruises restarted here in the U.S. DeSantis knows that if the CDC keeps the cruise lines from operating here in the U.S., Americans will still take cruises. They'll just take them from other countries. And speaking of other countries that are gearing up for a resumption of cruising, residents of the UK have a ton of choices for their holiday this summer. P&O Britannia will start sailing in June, and the brand new Iona will make her debut in August from Southampton. Cunard plans to sail the Queen Elizabeth in the UK coastal waters this summer. Details on those sailings are forthcoming. Fred Olsen Cruises will have 2 ships sailing this summer. The Borealis will start sailing out of Liverpool in July, and the Bolette will sail from Dover in August. MSC will also be in the UK game, though they haven't named a specific ship yet. They will sail from Southampton in May. Viking will have their brand new ship, the Viking Venus, cruising England's scenic shores from Portsmouth starting in late May. And Princess Cruises will sail the Regal Princess and the Sky Princess from Southampton in the late summer. And even Disney Cruise Lines is cashing in on the UK's decision to allow domestic cruising. The brand new Disney Magic at Sea Staycations will feature Disney's beloved characters and entertainment, and guests will remain aboard the Disney Magic throughout the voyage. Itineraries are expected to go on sale next month for the summer sailings. Though the market did well this week, and despite the positive cruise announcements from Royal Caribbean Group, all 3 stocks fell from closing a week ago. Royal Caribbean closed the week at $84.56 for a weekly loss of just over 7%. Carnival Corporation and PLC was the biggest loser this week, down 10.5% to close at $26.06 a share. And Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings finished at $26.82, losing just over 10% from last week's close. I hope you enjoyed the show today, and if you did, please hit that like button, leave a comment, and share this video with your cruising friends so we can continue to grow the Cruise World family. I know a lot of you booked cruises from Nassau this week, and I know even more will be booking the St. Martin and Bermuda sailings. If you're one of them, brag about it down in the comments. I am so excited that we are getting back to cruising. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and remember, life is short. Cruising is fun. We'll see you next week.